More than 40 million lawsuits are filed in the U.S. every year, which means protecting your assets is an important part of farm business planning. But there is a right way and a wrong way to go about asset protection. Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law joins us now with the very latest. So good to have you with us, Roger. So what are some key elements to keep in mind with asset protection?
Well, with asset protection, we want to start the process before we have any claim against us, because if you wait too long, you can be in violation of, first of all, state fraudulent conveyance provisions, and we don't want to get into that because that can lead to civil as well as criminal penalties for doing that to try to defraud a creditor to protect our assets, such as our farmland. So we got to engage in the asset protection planning well in advance of having any type of claim against us.
Well, bring this home for us. Give us some recent examples of what you're talking about.
Well, there's a current case going on in Iowa right now that the attorneys tried to get dismissed on a summary judgment motion, and the court said no because they had actually done some transferring of farmland into a limited liability company with the intent to protect it from a judgment creditor that exceeded the client's insurance coverage. And they knew that at the time, and the court would not dismiss the case. It's going to go to the jury, and and there's also a racketeering claim that's involved in this. So attorneys that get into this open themselves up for a lot of exposure. And racketeering is a really, really tough provision because they're basically claiming you engaged in a conspiracy with the bank and other people to shield all these creditors, and it can get really bad really quick.
So let's talk about the biggest takeaway for farmers and ranchers on this issue.
Well, the big takeaway, I think I want to cycle back to what I said initially. If you're worried about protecting your assets from creditors, and that's a concern for us in agriculture, you want to make sure you start the process early enough. You want to check to make sure you have sufficient insurance coverage, which largely is a deficiency for many farmers and ranchers. And to the extent that you can't have sufficient insurance coverage, then you can start creating entities and trusts and so forth, but do so before there's any type of claim that's out there or possible claim against you so that your planning is legitimate.
I've always said it's the homework on the front end that can help you on the back end if you put that effort there in the beginning. That's Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law. I appreciate you so much and the information you provide.